So stay tuned to the end of the video, guys, because I have a big time spoiler for you guys. So if you don't want to hear it, I mean, don't watch the end of the video, but guys, I have a big time spoiler on the main event of night 2, next week's Great American Bash NXT. Who wins that last match, the winner take all match for the North American Championship and the NXT Championship. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see that and find out who wins that match a week before it happens. Spoiler alert, guys. Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar 25 back again. My co-host, Michael Fuentemania.
What up, Marks?
Guys, we're back again with another video. It's a big one today. We have night 1 of Fyter Fest and the Great American Bash on NXT. Tons of matches, not much continuing. It felt like 2 big pay-per-views, and they're splitting up between 2 weeks. So we'll get to that. Before we do it, I remind you guys, drop a like on this video, previous videos, the subscribe button if you're watching and not subscribed. Notification bell so you guys aren't missing anything. Follow the social media, Twitter, Instagram, follow Twitch for the live streams. Without further ado, guys, jump right into the video. Recaps of Fyter Fest Night 1 and Great American Bash NXT Night 1. All right, guys, so we'll start with Fyter Fest. It started off with MJF and Wardlow versus the Jurassic Express, Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus. Very, very solid match. Tremendous heel work on the mic from MJF beforehand, and that funny ass looking robe that he had on.
Yeah, he had a kid grandma robe on.
Yeah, and he was talking about that they're in the middle of a ratings war, which is like their first reference towards it, and that they need that, you know, if you're in the ratings war, you need in order to win, you need MJF on the show. So you know, the match was what it was. It was a good match. You know, it's not like the level of tag team match you're used to in AEW compared to like the other matches, especially the main event of night 1 of Fyter Fest. So, you know, I'm gonna give this the match a thumbs up. Jurassic Express get the win. Luchasaurus pins Wardlow, so Wardlow takes the pin out of the 2. MJF is yet to be pinned in any match in his AEW career.
Still undefeated.
So it makes sense if you're gonna have them lose, he takes the pin. You know, Wardlow takes the pin, so it doesn't. You know, you want to keep that stigma behind, you know, MJF that he has never been pinned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thumbs up match too. It wasn't the greatest, it wasn't the best. It was just a solid match. I think this event was a lot of solid matches. Nothing, you know, it's gonna be historic ever, but yeah, good match. Everybody showed what they can do. MJF is definitely like the star of all these guys. Luchasaurus and Wardlow are fun to watch, and Jack Perry is a rising star as well. But MJF is a total star out of this group.
Yeah, big time. You know, Jungle Perry too. Jungle Boy Jack Perry too. He'll eventually be a big name star. I think Wardlow as well. I could see him going for the AEW Championship. Maybe I'm not sure if he'll be a champion or if he did win, if he will be like a perennial champion. Maybe just the guy who has it maybe once or twice. But I could see it happening.
But he needs a couple of years of training. You know, just getting the ropes and doing all this stuff. For him to be at that point.
Guys, the next thing on the show was Shida versus Penelope Ford for the Women's Championship. This is probably, I would have to say, you know, the match of the night.
Yeah, I think so
I would say this one is the match of the night. So off the top of the bat, you know, 2 thumbs up on this match. Now, this is their women's. So we've said earlier how their women's division seemed lackluster and it seemed like it wasn't being prominently, you know, shown or built. But this is like one of those turning points that when they have a match like this, you know, and it was Penelope Ford, the person that, you know, she ended up taking on the end, you know, ended up really, I think, taking the women's division to the next level in AEW. They just need to build upon this and have more women around that are vying for that top spot. And I think Shida as champion helps the division more than Nyla Rose as champion. Maybe it's just like the good baby face, like taking on all challengers and not like the big monster who doesn't get any sympathy. I think it helps. I don't know. For me, big monster, like women wrestlers, they don't really like, I don't know. For some reason, I don't think they work that well. I don't know what it is because, it just doesn't seem like anybody can really like legitimately take them down. It takes me out of it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Cause like usually like the women are so much smaller than the bigger girl. But like, I mean, like a monster if you look at Charlotte, I mean, it's all how you show her and like just have her come out and like what she is. Is she a monster? Because Charlotte's bigger than all the girls too, but she's not, you know, represented as this monster. You know, she's just like the better athlete. All depends, but definitely Shida being the champion, smaller, more girls her size, they can probably have better matches because it's formulaic against a monster. You're just kind of like working from the knees and trying to take the big monster down. This isn't. It's just two girls going at each other and having a great match.
Yeah. So this is their women's match going up against NXT's women's match, Sasha Banks and Io Shirai. So this was, I kind of wish this was the main event. I think this should have showcased the women's division a little bit better if it would have been the main event of night one of Fyter Fest.
Or even lower on the card.
Yeah, so the match was tremendous. Really good showing from Penelope Ford. A lot of fire shown from Shida in this match. The one spot I did not like whatsoever was when Kip Sabian came in with the kendo stick. He swung and missed, and then Shida kind of hit him, and it was very hokey and staged where he got hit through the kendo stick up in the air, high as hell for her to catch. He kind of just stood there waiting to get hit by it. I don't like those kind of spots. I think they're just too set up and too choreographed that it takes me out of it. But other than that, it was a tremendous match. So it was good to see Penelope Ford. I mean, she's like a standout in the women's division right now, but this really helps the women's division as a whole really take that next step and maybe be more of a prominent thing on the show where we could see more of it. So 2 thumbs up on that match. Next match, Cody versus Jake Hager. I don't know what it is about Jake Hager's run so far, but I just haven't been cool with it. I haven't liked a lot of it. Yeah, the ending of this match I did not like whatsoever. So this gave a thumbs in the middle as in terms of a match, maybe leaning more to a thumbs down because of the finish.
I give this a thumbs down. This was the only weak match on the card. They hyped it way too much at the press conference, and Hager's run has been really just abysmal. Not abysmal, but just you're expecting more, and you're not getting it from his matches. He's great with the inner circle. He's great as the muscle. He's great as the big heel. But man, his matches have been just really, really disappointing. This was all hype.
I'm not sure if he forgot his wrestling gear because those random generic blue trunks he had on.
He was wearing briefs. It looked like longer briefs. I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's been a weird run for him. He's had a couple 3-4 matches. They haven't been really all that done that well. I mean, and it's just he continues to lose every match that he's in. And the finish of this match, he gets Cody in a chokehold. From the front side, and then Cody kind of he drops Cody down to the mat, and Cody just gets on top of him in the choke and pins him, and it kind of makes it makes Hager look dumb. Because he's supposed to be the MMA guy, legit,
and this is another weird
wrestler, and he just looks like a dumbass because he lost like that. He has all the control, and he just kind of gives up the pin right there and thinks he won too.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of when he lost, where it was Cody and Darby, and they had that weird finish where you didn't know who got pinned. Same thing, but just really underwhelming by Hager. I mean, I'm starting to think I know why Jack Swagger didn't work out in the WWE. His in-ring work isn't anything to really write home about. Let's be serious. It's not anything special.
I'm not sure what it is. I just think he's just not. Maybe he's not hitting on every. Maybe the split between MMA and professional wrestling isn't it's just too much, or I'm not sure because it's just he's not hitting. I don't know what it is.
He hasn't showed up to the plate in his 2 top matches against Mox and Cody. He really hasn't shown up. His matches have been underwhelming.
And they've been built big, and then they just kind of they just kind of fall flat. Yeah, and he has to win something because if not, he just loses every match. And the finish of this match, I wasn't a fan of it. This really turns me off about this match is the finish. I think it made Hager look stupid, and it's something he doesn't need right now. It doesn't need. He doesn't need to be looked at shown that way. So I think it was
a match.
I think it was a mistake. Guys, next thing on the show, tag team match, Private Party with Santana and Ortiz. Versus Santana Ortiz, Private Party with Matt Hardy. Fast pace, good solid tag team match. I give it a thumbs up. Not super anything to write home about because you've seen stuff like this before. A lot of double moves here and there. I really like Santana and Ortiz as a tag team. For me, Private Party, they're cool and all. They do big spots, but I think just some of their stuff looks too choreographed for me, and it takes me out of it.
And they just they got bad working punches, everything doesn't look solid.
For me, the Mark Quinn, the one I took on Cody Rhodes, I think he's the better one out of the 2. Isaiah Cassidy for me just doesn't do it. I think his punches to me look kind of off, and he does
everything looks
much.
Weak. Everything just looks weak. Nothing looks impactful. It's all stunts and jumps, and I mean that's cool and all, but the more impact, the better. And I'm just kind of getting annoyed with the fact that everybody in Inner Circle seems to lose.
Yeah, everybody just keep losing
ever since the Stampede. They just haven't won anything, and they're losing their allure as an dominant group. I mean,
Yeah.
The more you lose, the more people just be like, I mean,
like, how can Santana and Ortiz not have gotten like or be in the title picture right now? To me, it makes no sense. I think they should be put over Private Party. The Private Party is a little bit too young. Santana and Ortiz, and like I said, some of the stuff they do is like, especially Isaiah Cassidy. Like I said, I don't want to call him out, but it's just a lot of stuff he does seems too choreographed on screen, and it just throws me out. But they're two tremendous athletes. They do a lot of cool double team moves, and a lot of big spots. There's just some things more. Maybe they need to change up a little bit.
And I mean, the best thing about this match was, never trust a man in tails. That's what you learn from this hell of a, life advice right there.
Yeah. Because Orange Cassidy was there, sitting. Okay, so Chris Jericho was doing the commentary tonight. Then, Orange Cassidy was sitting next to him. And, after Santana and Ortiz lose, Chris Jericho's pissed off because everybody's losing the Inner Circle, and he obviously doesn't have Sammy around anymore. And he gets into it with Isaiah Cassidy and then eventually with Orange Cassidy. And they have to do the big pull apart and everything like that. So that match is going to come, it's going to take place next week on the night 2 of Fyter Fest. Next thing on the show, there was an announcement that due to Renee Young testing positive for COVID-19, they're pushing the AEW championship match between Jon Moxley and Brian Cage to from 2 weeks from now, July 15th, I believe it is, at the Fight for the Fallen on Dynamite. So that's when that match will take place. There's not even concrete plans of that yet, just because you don't know if you'll be cleared and able to compete at that time. But they had an in-ring promo from Cage and Taz, and then Taz was just talking shit. And he also said that, AEW runs like they don't run like a messed up ship, basically just taking a prod at WWE.
As you know, we don't run a sloppy shop.
For the fact that they had so many
shot across the bow, basically.
So they had so many recent positive tests of coronavirus in WWE. So nobody's saying that it was planned or anything like that because it's ridiculous. But I'm saying it. Now this was the second thing that they did against WWE because we forgot to mention the Cody Rhodes Jake Hager match. Cody Rhodes came out with an American Nightmare shirt that was in the same font, and yes, same font and everything as the Great American Bash.
Along with his coach Arn Anderson and his Waffle House menu.
Which I need that shirt.
Yeah, so it's an American Nightmare shirt with the Great American Bash kind of look to it and font. So there's another second thing. So the Taz had this promo, and he talks about Jon Moxley and everything like that, and he says he's running scared, and that's why he's pushing the match back. And we still don't know if that match is going to take place at Fight for the Fallen. We assume so, but that's where it's being pushed back to. So that match will not happen next week. It will happen in 2 weeks. All right, guys. Next thing on the show is the main event: Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Tag Team Champions versus the Best Friends, which was hilarious because the Best Friends showed up in a minivan driven by they said it was Trent's mom, so it was Trent's mom. That was really funny how they showed up there. And they had FTR sitting by the commentary desk watching this whole entire match, obviously making their claim to like they're coming for those tag team titles. And obviously night 2 they have that big 8-man tag. So the match was tremendous. It's another 2 thumbs up match for me on the show. Second best match of the night, behind the women's match. Every match that Omega Page have tag team match is tremendous.
I mean, they're quickly becoming the best tag team in the world. I mean, they were put together pretty quickly.
Yeah, just put together, yeah.
And you're like, I don't know. I like these guys as single stars, but together they've become mega stars and probably the best tag team in the company right now. Sorry, FTR, but they're putting up better matches than most people. Yeah.
Now, funny spot here. The match was going on, and the Best Friends go for their hug. JR seemed pretty upset by it because he said that Excalibur always says give the people what they want when they go for the hug spot, and JR says like they want to win the titles. There's no time for hugging or anything like that. So basically, I think some of that stuff it depends. Like if it's a regular match, you could do it, or if it's not for the title, you can do stuff like that. I know there's shtick and everything like that. You gotta pick your spots. Yeah, you got to take this more seriously instead of going for you have to have a sense of urgency in a title match. You can't just go for like your little shtick, whatever spot, which is their hug spot. You can't always go for that. They should have been a little bit more serious at that point. And JR called them out on it on commentary.
And this is where guys that have been on the indies for most of their careers. I mean, Triple Beretta hasn't been, but just indie guys mostly, and they're just putting their shtick and they're putting. It's where the ring psychology and the logic has to make sense. Where it's a big fight feel, has to feel that way, and hugging is. I would JR was completely right on that. I felt the same way. It was like you're just taking me out of the.
Because if you want to do that on a random Dynamite, or you want to do it on a pay-per-view match that's not for the titles, or something like that, you could do that. because that's their gimmick, that's their thing. But in a match like this, the stakes that are at hand, it's your first shot. Finally, you get a shot at the tag team titles, and then you're pulling out that. I just don't think it's the right move. I think they should have had been more focus, more sense of urgency behind everything they did, and it would have helped them out. Yeah. Here comes, Omega, Page, Buckshot Lariat, everything for the win. They get the win. They retain. Then you had FTR come in and give them beers. Obviously, Hangman took that beer, was happy to have it. Kenny Omega, not so happy. He poured it on the floor, and this started the issues. As soon as he did it, here come the Bucks to kind of break it up. Now, what I saw interesting was the shot at the end, whereas everybody took their side. So the three guys on the left were Omega and the Bucks, and the three guys on the right were FTR and Hangman Page. So I'm thinking 6-man tag eventually is going to happen there. Whereas Page, maybe when the split happens between Page and Omega, that'll be the 6-man tag, because they teased it right there. Because Hangman was upset with Omega for throwing out the beer, and he was on the opposite side. He was standing next to FTR, and you had Omega with the Bucks. So I think they're really teasing that at the end. But FTR is obviously making their stake in their claim, as they're coming for those titles. They got the night 2. They got the big tag team match coming out. So it should be interesting to see. But guys, this is a 2 thumbs up match, and that is AEW Fyter Fest. Those are all the matches that happen tonight. Let's jump to the Great American Bash NXT. All right, guys. So NXT, the Great American Bash, started off with a fatal 4-way elimination match for the number 1 contendership of the Women's Championship. You had Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, Candice LeRae, and Dakota Kai. Mia Yim eliminated Candice LeRae. Then Dakota Kai eliminated Mia Yim, and for the last part of the match, it was Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. That rivalry renewed, and the winner of the match was Tegan Nox. I give this match a thumbs up rating. It was a really good match. I was surprised it went with Nox and not with Dakota Kai. So I feel like Dakota Kai, being that she won almost every match out of that feud between her and Tegan Nox, she seemed like she had more steam behind her. And I felt like the team of Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox was eventually going to kind of build up a little bit, but maybe they want to build up more Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. But Tegan Nox is now the number 1 contender, and she will take on Io Shirai in the near future. But it was a very good match, solid match. Yep. I did like how it was, at the end, Kai and Nox, because they seem like the two that have the most steam behind them in out of the 4, and it was well done. They worked very well together, and they did a really good job. So a thumbs up for that one. Next match on the show, Oni Lorcan versus Timothy Thatcher. That was kind of a random match. It felt like it was just kind of there. You saw Timothy Thatcher make a couple vignettes about stretching guys and making guys cry and submitting guys and stuff like that. This is a super physical match. These two fucking guys beat the shit out of each other. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up just because how physical it was. It was a random match, but it was just super physical. A lot of they're beating the shit out of each other for the most part of the match. And Thatcher gets the win with the Fujiwara armbar, and he holds on to it after maybe hurting in storyline Oni Lorcan. But I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Thatcher, because he's just coming out basically just stretching guys and making guys step out, and he's a super physical guy. It depends on who he works with, I think, is what you'll get out of him and how the match will work. I'm not sure how you work with guys who are super high flying or something like that. But I would be interested to see him versus a guy like Keith Lee. I would like to see him actually versus because Bronson Reed, a big guy like that. Maybe him versus Finn would be a fun match. It'd be interesting to see how that match would work out. But there's a lot of things you can do with Timothy Thatcher. I mean, I'm not sure how much of a character he has, but in ring, he's very, very well, very, very sound and physical. And it was great to see him and Oni Lorcan go back and forth.
I like the hard-hitting match. Good. Nice submissions, everything looked real hard. Both guys laying it like that European, that English style of wrestling that they were doing. It was good, and we'll see where Thatcher goes. I definitely want to see him versus guys you said, and I don't know, maybe in a year from now he could be one of the bigger stars, or fighting for the North American Championship or the title.
Yeah, it could be. It's just I think maybe he has to have a little more character work and something else to go along with the in-ring stuff.
He can go with his bruiser style that he's got going on.
Yeah,
I do like it.
But this was a out of nowhere kind of match. There was no build up. It would have been better if there was a build up to it. But we had another match that was kind of just another filler match, and it was the Rhea Ripley in the handicap against Aliyah and Robert Stone. Thumbs down. Robert Stone is a joke right now, I guess. They're treating him as a joke. And Aliyah kind of treated as a joke as well.
He was dressed like Mark Marrow.
Yeah, he was just like Mark Marrow, and the whole boxer outfit. He came out, they had their match. I was surprised that they even had Robert Stone get as much offense on Rhea Ripley as he did. It was kind of interesting. I was kind of surprised by that, and I was surprised how long it went. I thought it would have been shorter of a match because Ripley had the advantage for the beginning of the match. The middle was Robert Stone and Lee had the advantage. And then Ripley turned the tables and hit him with the prism trap, both of them at the same time to get the tap out. So she wins. Maybe she's moving to SmackDown or something like that. I don't know. I think she's a little bit too. I don't know. She feels like Vince Price sees her as too big to be in NXT.
I don't know. This match was useless. This little feud is useless. I feel like they're underutilizing her on NXT. I think she's going to either go to SmackDown, like you said, or Raw or something. But she's too big for I think she's too big for NXT. If Vince is thinking that, I'm thinking the same exact way. It's just this is like pointless. And it was and Stone is just like basically a joke, dressed like Mark Merrow from like TKO. Mark Merrow just it did nothing for me. But no, the double thumbs down. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, nobody liked it. It wasn't good. Hopefully we get that, either she moves up to a different roster or she starts getting back in the title picture after this. Next thing on the show, strap match. Roderick Strong versus Dexter Lumis. Thumbs up on this one. This was a really good match. Strong led the match. Obviously, he's the seasoned guy in the ring. He led it, but Lumis is, he does good in his matches. He does his thing. He plays his part. He really works the gimmick in his matches. I'm enjoying. I've said this before. I'm a big Dexter Lumis guy. Yep. I love the character. The in-ring work is solid. I like the submission that he does and everything like that. Bobby Fish got involved in this match. He got smacked up with the strap. It's the first ever strap match on NXT, so it was cool to see.
Great American Bash Classic too.
Yeah, big time. And Dexter Lumis gets the win here with the submission on Roderick Strong. So we'll see what happens with Lumis after this. I was surprised to see Lumis actually win the match. This is their first full one-on-one match with each other. Maybe I thought they would have had more of a schmoz finish or a screw job finish to have Strong.
They tried and then Lumis got past all that, so they're making look really strong. And I like the fact that he's getting in people's minds and scaring people. I think that's a whole different dynamic to his character. He can go in the ring, great match. A strap match is tough because there's so much you can do. You're glued to a strap with somebody. But they did a great job. It was a really good match.
The strap they used looks super long too. It was a really long strap to use.
It's usually shorter, so they could do a little more. But Lumis is a star. The guy's got star around all over. He's got the look. He plays the gimmick so well, and they're just making it interesting with how the storylines are progressing. Yeah,
I want to see how they continue to move him around. If they continue the whole, he's gonna stay with the creep vibe and all that stuff like that. But are they really gonna are they gonna make him more comical, or are they gonna make him a little bit more serious, stuff like that? We'll see how the build goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes if he continues his feud with the Undisputed Era. Guys, the next thing on the show was Santos Escobar cutting a promo in the ring, interrupted by Drake Maverick. The beatdown ensues from Joaquin Wild, Remember Mendoza?
Phoenix. All right. Yeah. Joker came out.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza. So they start to beat down, and for some reason Breezango comes out and helps him out. They help Maverick out. They clear the ring and they set up the match, even though you really couldn't hear Fandango all that well when he said it on the mic.
He's like,
yeah. He just said that they have nowhere to hide next week on night 2 of Great American Bash. So they set it up, 6-man tag. You got Breezango with Drake Maverick against, Santos Escobar and his crew of guys, Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza. So we'll get to see that match next week. It's the segment, not much here. It was kind of random because, why is Breezango helping out Drake Maverick?
To set up a 6-man tag, basically.
It was kind of, it felt forced. Yeah, it felt forced. Yeah,
it did. But we get to see Breezango, Drake. They kind of mix, I guess, a little bit. A little bit. They're all kind of like a funny shtick. So it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad. But we did set up a couple more matches. They set up that match here. They set up Cameron Grimes, just Damian Priest on night 2 as well. And it seems to set up Johnny Gargano and Isaiah Swerve Scott because there was an issue in the back where Mia Yim and Candice are brawling. Swerve gets in there and tries to break it up. Gargano gets upset about it, and that they have a break apart. So it looks like that might happen for night 2. Night 2 seems weak minus the main event.
Yep.
Guys, next thing on the show was the main event, Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. Tremendous match of the night. 2 thumbs up here. Good to see both shows having 2 really, really good women's matches, but I would hope, the AEW women's match would have been the main event, just like this one was the main event here. I think that's the next step AEW has to go, is to make their women the main event. But this was a tremendous match. Obviously, Io Shirai is tremendous, and Sasha Banks is tremendous, even though she doesn't do as much as she used to, because she's not been in big prominent matches recently, just mostly tag team stuff. But good to see her out there doing this match, having such a tremendous match against Io Shirai. We all knew Banks. That Asuka was going to come out and kind of screw it over because the big feud is Asuka versus Sasha Banks.
Mist.
Yeah. So, Io Shirai has Sasha in a crossface, and here comes Bayley throwing she throws one of the tag team titles in the ring, so the referee would grab it, and then Sasha grabs it. Here comes a tug of war. The referee pulls it away. He kind of turns his back, and then Bayley interferes with a punch to Io Shirai. Then you see Sasha going for the other tag team belt to use it. Asuka pops out of nowhere, grabs it, shoots the mist.
And now what the? Oh my God, it's Asuka! Raw Women's Champion Asuka blowing
in her face. Io Shirai capitalizes on that and gets the win. So they got to celebrate at the end. Former tag team partners in Japan, Shirai and Asuka. So it was cool.
Give it up for the Japanese women of the world. Like 3 of the biggest stars are the champions of both companies. Shida, Io Shirai, and Asuka. I mean, look at it. Three champions from all from Japan. Give it to the Japanese ladies. They're doing their stuff, and they're all excellent workers, and they lay their shit in. That's the key. Lay your shit in. Make it look real.
All 3 of them are really, really good. And it was good to see that. But the big thing was Asuka versus Sasha Banks. It seemed kind of just a placeholder match to kind of just more hype up a little bit Asuka and Sasha. I don't know how they've been booking Asuka lately. Like, she's been losing a little bit too much. She doesn't look as strong going in.
But this was actually fun that she came in there with the miss old school thing.
It helped her former tag partner and friends, stuff like that. So very, very good match. Good way to end it. 2 thumbs up. But with night 1 being over of Great American Bash, I said in the beginning of the video, I had a bit of a spoiler alert for night 2 because it has been spoiled. I will put the picture up that I found after I announce what it is. So if you don't want to know what happens in the main event of night 2 of Great American Bash, stop watching now or fast forward, because there's a picture that was posted on the Instagram story of one of the members of In This Sure, those big guy tag teams. It was a screenshot of the ending, because it was already taped, of the Adam Cole Keith Lee match. You see, it's tough to see. I'll show you the picture. I'll put it up on the screen after I say who it is that won. It's tough to see because you let a confetti and fireworks, and you see what looks like Keith Lee standing tall with both belts. I'll put the photo up right now.
Who screwed that up? What a bunch of morons.
Yeah, so it was one of the members of In This Sure who put this on his Instagram story. I was able to screenshot it, and there it is. It seems to me from this picture that Keith Lee is going to win or has won already that match, and he is the North American champion and also the NXT champion. So it's a little bit of a spoiler for you guys, but that's the video, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. That's night 1 of Fyter Fest and night 1 of NXT The Great American Bash. Appreciate you guys for watching. Remember, for those work people that do not do the job.
Later, Marks.